now known as Da Nang in Vietnam, the harbour was a safe haven. The mission was in desperate need of fresh supplies and time to recuperate. Dysentery and typhoid had swept through all 600 of them, and it was a stark reminder to proceed with caution. 6 years earlier, Britain had attempted its first embassy with China. The ambassador, Charles Cathcart, succumbed to the equatorial climate and died. For that reason, George Staunton had been tasked with stepping into Lord Macartney's shoes in the event of his death.
So little is known to the Europeans of the Kingdom of Cochin China that every piece of authentic information respecting it may be considered as valuable. Should the growing influence of the French renew their treaty with Cochin China to actively employ force against us, it is exceedingly doubtful whether the British East India Company could any longer be able to maintain their valuable commerce with China.
Getting supplies was not an easy matter. When the locals saw so many tall ships all together, they were filled with fear and ran away. There was a Portuguese ship in the harbour, captained by Emmanuel Quartier. He said that they wouldn't have any luck in getting anything from the market because the country was in the grip of civil war. But the British persevered, and eventually things got a bit better. And as soon as the locals realised that there was plenty of money to be had and goods to trade, they soon restocked the market. It got so good that by the fifth night, they'd even arranged a dinner party for the British on shore. Still, some people were wary of the British. Emmanuel Quartier had been spreading more lies, telling them that the British had hostile intentions. Thankfully, the British and the Cochin Chinese were still able to communicate using writing, because this area still used the Chinese writing system. John Barrow had continued to learn Chinese on the long voyage with his former student, George Thomas Staunton, the 12-year-old son of Sir George Staunton. And they were helped by 2 Chinese priests. And although they didn't speak English, the enthusiastic polyglots were able to learn more and more about Chinese language and culture by speaking Latin.
Animus Trepidat Tet, scientiam domus.
In the neighbourhood of Turon, we observed several plantations of sugar canes and tobacco. The country exhibited but feeble marks of tillage, and arts and manufacturing were evidently in a languishing state. The cottages of Turon were in general snug and clean and sufficiently compact to protect the inhabitants from the heat of the sun at one season and the heavy rains at the other. The cottages contained little furniture, as if only intended for temporary use. As none of the houses in the town were large enough for the accommodation of so numerous a party, the governor issued his directions for building a spacious shed which by the help of the ever ready and useful bamboo was finished in the course of a few hours.